a cookie rivalry between towns, a roasted pig worthy of celebration, and nougat delicious enough to make a town famous. From sweets to seafood, what the Spanish royal family really eats may surprise you. Often served as an appetizer before Christmas Eve and Christmas Day meals, Entremeses are essentially a selection of cured meats and cheeses, much like a charcuterie board. Among the cured meats are a range of hams that could include jamón ibérico de Bayota, or an Iberian ham made from acorn-fed Iberian pork, and jamón serrano, a bright pink purplish ham that is made using methods that date as far back as ancient Rome. King Felipe reportedly counts Iberico ham among his favorite foods. If you want to eat like the King of Spain, it'll cost you. Iberico ham is incredibly expensive. For the Spanish royals, Christmas is a 2-day affair featuring a series of traditional rituals and some typical Spanish dishes. The main festivities commence on Christmas Eve, when the king addresses the nation before the family has dinner and then attends midnight mass. Christmas Day features presents for the children. An elaborate multi-course lunch featuring roasted meats is the centerpiece of the December 25th celebration. Seems like quite the feast.
And now, let us celebrate with a traditional Christmas feast.
Otherwise known as roast suckling pig, Cochinillo is another delicacy that will be found on the Spanish royal family's Christmas banquet table. Often eaten on special occasions, Cochinillo is a whole roasted piglet that is cooked using a 2-step process. First, it is butterflied and seasoned with salt, thyme, garlic, and olive oil before it is roasted, for about an hour in a clay dish. Once it has been roasted and cooled, it is roasted again in order to get the skin brown. The preparation of this delicacy does not begin with the roast alone. Rather, it begins as soon as the piglets are born. The piglets are fed only the milk of their mothers and given no vitamins or hormones before being slaughtered when they are 4 to 5 weeks old. By the age at which they are slaughtered, the piglets have not yet reached 10 pounds in weight. The resulting meat is shockingly juicy and tender, providing an amazing contrast to the crackling, crisp skin. Another Christmas delicacy that the Spanish royals enjoy is turrón. Also known as Spanish nougat, turrón has been a popular sweet for centuries, and it is reported to have Arabic origins. Invented by the Moors more than 500 years ago, this sweet traditional delicacy was first made in Gijona, a little town situated north of Alicante.
The manufacture of turrón provides Gijona with a distinctive touch and its world-famous reputation.
There are 2 types of turrón with names that serve as a nod to their origins: turrón de Gijona and turrón de Alicante. Turrón de Gijona is a soft nougat that is made using egg whites, honey, roasted almonds, and sugar, while turrón de Alicante refers to a hard nougat that is made using similar ingredients. There are several other popular versions of turrón in Spain. Among these are turrón de Agremun and turrón de Cherta, which both may incorporate hazelnuts. Turrón de trufa and turrón de chocolate are made of various types of chocolate, while turrón de coco includes dried coconut. Turrón de yema tostada is a Catalan variety that incorporates egg yolks. Polvorones, or pan de polvo, are another traditional Spanish delicacy that was formerly reserved for the Christmas season. Now enjoyed all year, polvorones are shortbread cookies that are made using flour, milk, nuts, and sugar. Like other types of shortbread, polvorones have a soft, crumbly texture and are often topped with powdered sugar. Like turrón, polvorones are another treat that the Spanish royals eat during the holiday season.
And they're popular on holiday tables throughout the season. They actually also make a really great holiday gift.
These shortbread cookies reportedly originated in Andalusia during the 16th century. Their invention seems to have been encouraged by the pig farming industry. The region had become known for cultivating good quality pork products. Andalusia's forests contained large numbers of oak trees that produced acorns that pigs could feed on. This led to locals using lard in their cooking, which in turn led to its use in these cookies too. Like polvorones, mantecados are traditional Christmas cookies, and they also form part of the Christmas celebration for the Spanish royal family. Like polvorones, they too are from Andalusia and boast a soft, crumbly texture. Estepa and Antequera are the two towns in the region that have laid claim to being the original creators of the sweet treats, which has led to a Mantecado rivalry between the two towns. The origin story of the cookies is that either Estepa or Antequera came up with the recipe as a way of using an excess of flour and lard. Today, Estepa reportedly manufactures 20 million kilograms, or 44 million pounds, of mantecados per year. This makes up about 40% of the total annual mantecado production across Spain. A typical mantecado recipe includes 50% flour and 25% each of lard and sugar. Other ingredients that may be added include cinnamon, coconut, and lemon. It is hard to say where the concept of the omelet originated, as it has as many variants across the world. It seems like the word omelet was first published in a French cookbook called Cuisine Bourgeoisie during the 17th century. However, omelets are hardly exclusive to the French. For Spain's Queen Letizia, an egg white omelet is a part of her pericone diet. This diet, which was developed not by a dietitian or a nutritionist, but instead by a dermatologist named Nicholas Perricone, is alleged to reduce inflammation, promote healthy skin, and slow the aging process, according to Perricone MD. In Spain, the variation of the omelet that is traditionally consumed is the Spanish tortilla. Now part of a typical breakfast in Spain, it is believed to have been created during the First Carlist War between 1833 and 1839. According to one Spanish legend, a general of the Spanish army had stopped by a local Navarre home. The poor housewife he found there gathered eggs, onion, and potatoes and cooked an improvised meal, inadvertently creating what would come to be known as the Spanish tortilla. Today, you can find it made with the same ingredients the Navarre housewife used, or with additional ingredients like chorizo or fried peppers. Queen Letizia may have a simple piece of salmon with her breakfast as part of the health-focused Perricone diet. Salmon and other cold water fish like trout make up the backbone of the diet and can be eaten at all meals. While Letizia probably eats her salmon relatively plain, if you want a more flavorful option, try a traditional salmon dish from Spain, like salmon a la gallega. Originally from Galicia in northwestern Spain, salmon a la gallega is made using garlic, olive oil, and paprika. The fish is seared and served with sliced boiled potatoes in a paprika-spiked sauce flavored with wine and garlic. This dish should be made with waxy potatoes, as they hold their shape and don't fall apart when boiled. For those who are not fond of white wine or who avoid alcohol, the wine can be replaced with a stock or a broth. This dish is also commonly made with octopus. Salmon a la gallega is a healthy alternative to traditional Spanish fried fish, which consists of boneless white fish fillets fried in a crispy breading. Seafood is a big part of Spanish cuisine and often serves as the anchor of the Spanish royals' holiday meals. King Felipe himself is a big seafood fan, with his favorite fish being sole. Paella is a very popular way to consume seafood in Spain. Paella is a rice dish that can be made using an array of ingredients, from meat or seafood to vegetables or a combination of everything. Paella de mariscos is the seafood version of the dish. Like all paella, it is meant to incorporate whatever you have on hand, allowing you to use the freshest seafood you have access to on the particular day you wish to make it. This is in line with the history of the dish, as farmers and laborers would prepare rice mixed with whatever ingredients they had on the land in a big pan on a fire.
What happened was the farmers used to take these little pans on the field with them and cook them over wood and just have their meal that way, catch whatever they have, whether it was rabbit, chicken.
Interestingly, while paella is considered to be Spain's national dish in other parts of the world, Spanish people class it as a Valencian dish, despite its availability in every region across Spain. As such, paella valenciana is considered to be the most authentic form of paella. In addition to the essential ingredients like short or medium grain rice, sofrito, and stock, paella valenciana contains chicken and rabbit. Other types include paella de verduras, which includes beans and vegetables, and paella negra, which is a black variant that is prepared in squid ink and features a range of seafood like crab and cuttlefish. Hailed as trendsetters within the nut industry, Spain's nut sector has been praised as one that expertly combines tradition with innovation. Among the nuts produced in Spain, almonds, chestnuts, and hazelnuts make up the bulk of production. In 2017 alone, 800,000 hectares of land were allocated to the cultivation of these nuts, the majority of which went toward the cultivation of almonds. Both almonds and hazelnuts are prominent ingredients in Spanish nougat, and Queen Letizia enjoys hazelnuts as Paracone diet-approved snacks. 3 popular Spanish nut varieties are Marcona almonds, Almendra de Mallorca, and Avellana de Reus. Marcona almonds are a highly coveted variant that is similar to macadamia nuts in texture. They taste sweeter and more buttery than standard almond varieties and can be incorporated into a wide range of recipes. Almendra de Mallorca is an almond variant with a name that speaks to its origins. It is cultivated in Mallorca, a status that is protected by law. They have a strong flavor and high fat content. Finally, Avellana de Reus are hazelnuts that have been cultivated in the Tarragona province. Like Mallorca almonds, their geographical provenance is legally protected. Although kefir is not a big part of Spanish history and cuisine, it does feature quite prominently as a part of Queen Letizia's Paracone diet. Among the foods that are consumed on a daily basis as part of the diet are fish, eggs, vegetables, and natural yogurt. This is where kefir comes in. With a history that stretches as far back as 4,000 years, kefir is milk that Karachay nomads in the Caucasus Mountains would mix kefir grains into before leaving to ferment in leather skins. Kefir grains are small lumps of microorganisms that ferment fresh milk into kefir. These grains were once so highly regarded that they would be passed down as heirlooms from one family generation to the next. Because the Karachay people believed that the grains came directly from Prophet Muhammad, the fermentation process was viewed not so much as a scientific process as it was a divine one. The grains turned milk into a healthier drink that was safe and fortified the bodies of those who drank it. So divine was this process that kefir grains were a secret that the Karachay people fiercely protected. This remained so until researchers from Russia started to research the reasons behind the people of the Caucasus Mountains' long lives and vitality during the 14th century. Today, kefir may not be perceived as divine, but it is lauded for its impressive nutrient profile. It's full of probiotics that are good for digestive health. Spain is the largest producer of broccoli in the world. Given this fact and that it is an ingredient that is featured in the Paracone diet, it is not surprising that steamed broccoli would be a part of Queen Letizia's eating routine. About half of all the broccoli that is cultivated in Spain comes from the Murcia region. More specifically, the Guadalentin Valley has played the most pivotal role in Spanish broccoli production. However, broccoli is not originally a Spanish vegetable. It was first bred by the Etruscan civilization in ancient Italy. Served as an appetizer or side dish, Spanish garlic broccoli is one way to enjoy this vegetable if you cannot stand the idea of plain old steamed broccoli. It's made using garlic, lemon wedges, olive oil, and vegetable broth. Broccoli alla parrilla is another simple dish in which cooked broccoli is topped with a warm garlic and paprika dressing. Ultimately, while Spanish cuisine did not historically feature broccoli, its recent popularity has led to its incorporation into Spanish dishes.